Welcome back, Deadites and Ghost Beaters. If you're new to the channel, I am Old Head Gaming, and of course we have an update mid-chapter coming very, very soon, and we have a big update from Dead by Daylight, and it's going to put some stuff into perspective. We got a major nerf to Nurse, which I think everyone hates this noise more than anything on the earth, and let's be honest, we all do. So maybe we'll be hearing it less. All survivors are going on 4K blast. Like, you can't hide, you can't be doing nonsense now and not have your teammates know. There's some changes to night, there's some changes to the Eyrie. We gotta break down the whole thing, but there's a lot of cool stuff coming, so let's go hop over and take a look at what is coming in this update. Alright, here we go. We got the January 3rd 2023 developer update, and Happy New Year. The team is back from the holidays. We brought the developer update. In this series of posts where we cover the biggest changes coming to Dead by Daylight, we have many quality of life improvements up our sleeve, and without further ado, let's kick off 2023 with a bang, and that's going to start with the Survivor HUD activity. It's no secret playing with friends may improve your odds of survival. Communication can, at times, make the difference between life and death. Solo survivors need to work extra hard to keep up, often sacrificing perk slots for crucial information that could easily be shared between players in a call. Last year, we shared the early design for the system that would help bridge the gap between solo survivors and pre-made groups. The response to this idea has been positive, and we were ironing out the details, working on it behind the scenes, and we're happy to say that this system will be debuting a 6.50 update. Each survivor will now display their current action next to their portrait, and these actions include repairing a gen, opening a gate, healing, mending, recovering, cleansing, and blessing a totem, searching a chest, killer-specific actions, e.g. snapping out of it, waking up a survivor, etc. This not only gives you vital information on your plan for your next move, but also gives you some visibility on what your teammates are doing to build camaraderie between the team. These actions are only visible to survivors. Killers won't be told what you're doing at all times. So as you can see here, we got, working on a gen, we got being chased by the knight, maybe waxing a totem, so pretty much what you would expect. Beyond these actions, we have added a new indicator that a survivor is in chase. Previously, it was only possible to tell when the obsession was being chased due to the twitching icon. Going forward, any survivor that is being chased will have a small set of entity claws surrounding their portrait, keeping the effect visually similar. Unlike your current activity, the killer will also see who they're chasing, on making it possible to distinguish between two similarly dressed survivors. Finally, we'll add a new health state to show survivors are being carried by the killer. Previously, the carried survivor would be shown in dying state, but this could be confusing for newer players who are looking for a new aura of a dying teammate. Why these actions? The goal of the feature was solely to bring the gap between solo survivors and pre-made groups. And also, this information can easily convey between friends in a call, but not between solo survivors without the use of perks. Therefore, this information will not make coordinated groups any stronger than they have been before. We specifically wanted to avoid anything that could give an already coordinated group even further advantage, such as showing survivors exact locations due to the procedural nature of Dead by Daylight maps. Callouts like these can be hazy at times, so pinpointing an exact location could give a pre-made group a pretty big advantage. We hope that this final decision is the fairest option of bridging the gap, and will closely be monitoring impact of these changes to solo survivors, pre-made groups, overall gameplay. We'll look forward to hearing what you think of it. So now we're going to update the wiggle mechanic. I like this. I like if I'm playing solo survivor, which I don't do often, but if I do, I kind of know what my friends are doing in the group that I have no clue who the hell they are. The updated wiggle system was first featured to appear in the beta tab last year. Since its introduction, we have collected feedback from countless games and around the internet. Roughly 83% of players are currently opted into the wiggle beta. The time has come for the system to be officially integrated in the game. As a result, the wiggle beta will disappear from the beta tab in 6.5, and there are a couple of changes that we made for this before it goes live. First, we are removing faster wiggle progression from the great skill checks. Hitting all the great skill checks could shave off a whole second. While this sounds small, it could be a distance between wiggling free and getting hooked. Rather than increasing wiggle speed, great skill checks will instead increase the amount of killer sways while carrying you by 20%. Great skill checks success zones have been increased in size, so they're now less impactful. Good skill checks, on the other hand, will still bump the killer, but 50% less than previously. Second, we have added a new sound for not attempts, i.e. not attempting to hit the skill check at all. Third, we have cleaned up the new system's interaction with decisive strike skill check. This caught a lot of people off guard and caused some commotions. There is now a half a second delay between decisive strike and the start of the new wiggle checks. So, whatever. The system sucks. It's okay. I mean, it's not going to make a whole lot of difference. Here's the one that is going to make some difference, though. The Nurse. Oh, boy. Nurse is going to get a fucking hit in the face, and I think every survivor who ever plays against Nurse especially survivors who play against Nerfs on a consistent basis, will be ecstatic. In the right hands, the Nerf can no doubt be the strongest killer in the game. Though she has a steep learning curve, not much can stand between a good Nerf and the survivor she's trying to kill, not even walls. Although it's been a while since we've made any major changes to her, the Nerf has suddenly grown in power thanks to introduction of new perks, making already strong playstyles even stronger. This in large part comes down to the fact that the attacks are considered basic attacks, meaning they can benefit from a wide variety of perks. Since the Nerf can be threatening enough on her own, we decided to make her blink attack a special. This means she can no longer activate basic attack perks such as Starstruck, Hex No One Escapes Death, and so on. Next, we've added the new sound cue. The Nerf has fully regenerated from all her blink charge. This way, you'll know when she's ready to blink again without having to keep an eye on her out of the corner of your screen. Beyond that, we took some of the revisited Nerf add-ons to new add-ons and bring the strongest and weakest of the bunch closer in line with the rest. Notably, any add-on that increases Nerf's maximum blink has been replaced with a completely new effect. Here's a sneak peek into what we have to come. So this is pretty big. Let's take a look at the breakdown of what they actually did to Nerf. So Badman's Last Breath. After hitting a survivor with Blink, the Nerf becomes undetectable for 25 seconds. This effect can only be triggered once every 45 seconds. Jenner's Last Breath. Once all blinks have been exhausted, the Nerf may teleport back to her original location. Once she returns to the original position, all blinks are in charge restored. The full details for changed add-ons can be found in the patch notes once the update goes live, but you can also expect changes for the following: Catatonic Boy's Treasure, Dark Signature, Heavy Panting, Ataxic Respiration, Fragile Wheeze, Campbell's Last Breath, Kavanaugh's Last Breath, Torn Bookmark, and Matchbox. Spasmatic Breath also receives new audio visual feedback to make it clear which effects are active. This is a major change to Nerf. And yes, she'll still be good, but changing away from her basic proccing everything is going to be a major change, even if she can still go through walls. Let's see what they're doing to our boy, the Knight. Brand new killer. He's kind of been since coming out of the gate. Let's take a look. The Knight and his guards have been patrolling the realm for a little over a month, and we've been combing through your feedback all the while. Once recurring pieces of feedback were received is about how the Knight's power is best used in loops rather than over long distances. While this is a totally valid way to use his power, we'd also like to make it more appealing to use the power in different ways. We made a few changes aimed to make longer paths more powerful. First, the orb survivors will see when the killer is creating a path will shrink within distance, disappearing completely with the path longer than 10 meters. This will make it more difficult for survivors to avoid the guard before they become active, though the killer will still need to predict where their survivors are going. Second, after creating a path longer than 10 meters, the Knight will gain a haste effect for a few seconds. The longer the path, the longer the movement speed bonus will last that aims for help the killer catch up using his power. Third, guards will move to position they spotted the survivor and begin chasing faster depending on the length of patrol. Like Case, only past 10 meters will benefit from this. Beyond promoting longer paths, we've increased the generated regression from guards 5% to default 2.5%. Guards will no longer activate generated damage perks, however, so use them wisely. Lastly, we have admired the creative ways that you have used the Knight's power. Rather than locking down an area or aggressively chasing survivors, some of you discovered that you can start drawing a path and not move toward to hide your terror radius, particularly near a hooked survivor. While the efficiency of doing this is debatable, it doesn't exactly suit his playstyle, so we've added 10-second limit to his patrol path creation. This gives you enough time that not only a typical path, but it will put a hard time limit on how long you can still stay and hide in your terror radius. Let's see what they're doing with Eyrie Crows. Last year's The Forsaken Boneyard appeared in the Entity's Realm alongside the Portrait of Murder chapter. You've given us a lot of feedback on this surreal landscape, and we've prepared some gameplay adjustments for the Eyrie Crows, which will launch this upcoming patch. Many players reported this map felt survivor-sided, and this is something we can be looking at the top data. The remedy to this, the map will change shape rather than a long rectangle. The map will roughly be square, allowing killers to patrol generators more easily. This change of shape also reduces the overall size of the map slightly. Additionally, maze tiles, stronger tiles made up of tile walls, have been moved away from the main building and the shack, making it harder to combine them into strong loops. Lastly, but certainly not least, several new tiles have been added to the map, making multiple existing tiles have been new foliage, added new strategic places to allow trap killers to better hide their traps. Keep an eye out as you explore. So, meh. meh. We hope you'll find the new area crows to be much more experienced on both sides. Whatever. In-game tracker. All right. This should be fun because I've had so many times where I'm like, did I get credit for that? We've all been there. You're not quite sure if you finished your challenge or not. You spend the rest of the match. Was that 5 totems? Was it 4? I just said exactly this. So now you can actually track. That's great. That's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Game flow improvements. Speaking of challenges, if you ever queued up for a match and realize you didn't have a challenge, you'll know that you're faced with 2 choices: keeping queued or playing in a max match without a challenge. That's correct. It's a pain in the ass and bites me all the time. Starting 6.5, this is the past. You can now browse the archives while searching. Oh, thank God. So now while we're searching a match, we can queue up and say, oh shit, we forgot. Let's go in. That's great. Merciless Killer. What did they do to Merciless? Finally, we have a small update to Merciless Killer ratings. These ratings are currently tied to a grade system where a double pip earns Merciless Killer result and corresponding Adept Killer, Ultimate Trophies, etc. Unfortunately, that means that your grade increases, it becomes harder to earn these achievements. Since the emblem system has transitioned to a monthly ladder, it no longer makes sense for this match results to be based on them. To clean this thing up, the results you get after a match are going to be tied directly to kills. 0 kills, the entity hungers. 1 to 2 is brutal. 3 to 4 is ruthless, and a 4 kills merciless. With this change, the requirement for Merciless Killer is much clearer, remains the same regardless of your grade, and this will allow you the killer adept achievements as similar. So you just need a 4K now? What? All right, I like that. I can get down with that. Eyrie shards. A few months back, we announced that all non-licensed outfits would receive an option to purchase with iridescent shards roughly a month after they appear in the store. By extension, existing outfits would also receive the iridescent shard option, but this has been done in batches of few characters. So far, we've added the options for Trapper, Wraith, Hillbilly, Nurse, Huntress, Dr. Hag, Dwight, Claudette, Meg, Jake, Nia, and David King. We can reveal the next characters to get this treatment are going to be Clown, Spirit, Ace, Fang. You can expect the iridescent shard prices to appear around the time of the update on all platforms, not just the PTB. Update on cheating. So this is our update on who's getting cheated now. Now in 2022 is behind us. We wanted to give you a chart showing the number of cheaters banned each year. So in 2016 when they started, looks like they banned about 13,000 cheaters. And last year was 64,601. Dear God. The team is still hard at work and patching new vulnerabilities, and we have hoped to share more with you soon. With that, we've reached the developer update. See you in the update. So that's it. All in all, I think this looks like it's shaping up to be a pretty good patch. The Eyrie is whatever. I don't care. I like the change to Merciless. I think that's a really subtle change that sometimes on a killer like Michael, where it's really hard to get his Adept achievement because play with the shape power, it really makes it a nice little change. I can just get a 4K with Michael in there. It'll pop that trophy. I like what they did to Nurse. She's still going to be strong, but she's not going to be ridiculously just soul crushing. I think Knight's whatever. I still think he's just whatever. I like what they're doing with the iridescent shards. I like the first wave. I think this is going to be nicer. You got to watch out for them doing that sneaky shit, though, that they did with doing the first round of skins for Winter Holiday, where they basically brought out the skins for everyone for the winter event and then put them away, so they're never going to get those Eyrie shard markers, so that's a little cheesy. So there's some ups and downs, but I think overall this looks like it's going to be a really good quality of life update. I like the fact that we're going to know what a solo queue survivor is, so if you play a lot of solo queue, this is going to be great for you. Tell me what you think in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts on what you think this update looks like it's going to be for you. I think as a 0.5 update, this looks like one of the better ones, to be quite honest, in my opinion. As always, thanks for watching, and later, mates.